In this film, we'll talk about the upcoming main season and which chain will be in charge of it. In India, you can now use XRP's manned cash payments. We talked about this earlier, but I forgot to close the thread. Now let's go. The next thing we'll talk about is how big the Web3 event reveal with Sony will be. The last thing we'll talk about is the Ripple vs. SEC case, which is almost over. What do we think will happen? We are going to break down PL's game. So relax, take a seat, and let's start with a Bitcoin 64,053 right away. It has gone down by 1.01% in the last 24 hours. But it does show that all of it has some life to it. On the hourly graph, Ethereum is showing signs of life after falling 39%. It closed at 27.49. They are both getting close to their dollar. Even though it fell to 78 yesterday, XRP from PEX is still alive and well and is trying to get back to the 60-cent mark. Today is Monday, and the total value of the Bitcoin market is $2,270 billion. It would be great to go back and make 60 cents on that new resistance level on the hourly chart. You know that Monday is my work day. I buy $800 worth of quant every Monday. Keep in mind that every time I use my little DCA trick, I got quant, which is around $55. Got it down pat. Less expensive than the 1960s, but still a great deal. You know what? I think my DCA will be around $70 when everything is said and done. Things will then start to go up, which means I'm just waiting for this to hit its peak. Quant has been on my shopping list for 5 to 6 months now, and I think it will do at least 7 times that. I'm ready for this long, fast run. Don't forget to get your tumblers back. I'm not sure if 14 spots are still open. I haven't changed anything on the page. We have continued to build, grow, and come up with new ideas over the last 6 months. These extra projects are how they plan to move forward. They are still trying to get people to buy their photos. Their art on something that has no use at all. I went on to say that we had already given back more than 800,000 XRP to people who owned them. Holding Tron Coin is all it takes to use it. Really, that's how easy it is. After the Solana craze last season, I mean, Justin is a smart guy. He saw things that worked for Solana, right? He saw what made the Solana chain so famous that prices went up, right? What did he do, right? In the end, it was the little mean coin shooter. Building the same thing on TRX, as expected, caused TRX to start to pump. TRX even jumped over Doge and seemed to threaten it once. Depending on how big XRP gets, Cardano might also get a jump. He is smart about business, and you can't blame him. Because that's what he does. The next thing you'll see going popular is a meme about it. They'll be put on top of TRX. Keep an eye on Web3. Sony is getting in here since it has backed the Ethereum web. The game doesn't have a secret. It's important to note that all of these big companies are now getting into the Bitcoin space. What group are they going to join? Sony is taking over. The ecosystem for games is going to level 2 with 20 million daily users. Of course, that's the million-dollar question. It shouldn't go to win trade. We'd rather it go from wallet to wallet or exchange to wallet. I don't want it to go from my wallet to an exchange because that would be a terrible thing to happen right now when Bitcoin is so popular. We don't mind if it goes from an unknown bag to an unknown illness. It's not a good idea for it to go from an unknown bank to an exchange, though. This XRP is being moved to the market because it is going to be sold. In spite of the epic fall of whites, if monthly Bitcoin control ends above 58%, it could lead to a spike to at least 73%. Rising wedge spreading points to a possible breakdown that could bring back all of its lower goal of 39%. Then what is he? I showed you the picture to show how Bitcoin's market capitalization compares to other cryptocurrencies. I really wish I had found that plan. It's not open on my computer right now. What is this? I wish I had Bitcoin open. What is going to happen? This takes place all the time, so there's no way this could happen. Bitcoin prices will keep going up, which will drain market cash. Its price will go crazy, but it will still be the most valuable thing on the market. Could get to be 55, 60, 65, or 70 years old. If you go up there, it will stand up. All of that will happen there. Oh, I see. That's just how a bull run on Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency works. But Bitcoin always comes first, so either this price will go up or, excuse the joke, it will take over. It will get easier to control things. Bitcoin is becoming more and more popular. We don't know when the highest point will be. I don't know where that will be, but I think it's around 6,065. After that, the money will start to show up. If you rotate out of Bitcoin, your market share will go down and you'll probably go into other markets first. Maybe not most likely, but Ethereum. It will likely move out of alt Ethereum after that. Even though some say it will happen, I don't think Ethereum will beat Bitcoin in the next 5 years. But I don't. It's crazy that no one knows that this is one of those 505050 yeses. Either you'll be right or wrong, But who will remember that this person said that? What if I told you that something would be worth $30 in 5 years? If I'm wrong, that's great, but who will remember that I said that? It's okay if I'm wrong, but no one will remember what I said. It's been 5 years. 5 years is like 15 years in the crypto world. No one knows what will happen, or even if the business will still be around in that time. If people find out that the network doesn't start in stinks during bull time, they may all quit, always freezing, locking, and spending too much. We don't understand why everyone would want to leave the awful network. What will happen in 5 years? And then this is what will happen. First, Bitcoin hits $100,000. Then an alt pump that raises prices 2 to 5 times what they are now. Third, the path of a fourth parabolic pump has been found. After Bitcoin goes through a parabolic phase, it spins out, which lets us get to ETH. That's what the plan is for everyone. There is only so much more I can say in the writing for you. But that's exactly how this will play out, and then something else will happen. They ate in my memory of where this came from. That brings us to our last point, which is that we want to talk about this wave. This month's date is August 8th. As you know, they basically won their case with the SEC because their payment dropped from $2 billion to $125 million, and they will now pay the fines. We still don't know if the SEC will take the money and sign the paper to end the disagreement. This is like the last nail that everyone has been waiting for to drive into the coffin. As of now, the case is still open because Ripple has not paid and the SEC has not signed the papers. People still think it's still ongoing because of this. In a way, yes. And no matter what your point of view is, we have a decision. I guess that's the right way to do it. To look into it, a decision has been made about whether or not both sides agree on what will be found. That's what I think we'll find out. I think the SEC has until October 8th to file an appeal. Take note that this doesn't really say anything, but I think we'll see it in September. You should know that it's hidden. I think that's next month near the end of September. I mean, it could be September or the first week of October, but that's when I think we'll see it. They have until the end, if not. But you get the point. Since you just got $125 million to end a 3-year lawsuit that had been on your books, would you really appeal and take this case any further? What are you going to ask for exactly? You want an extra $50 million or $100 million? What are you really going to get? You made $25 million from this, so it's over. It's no longer something you have to deal with. That's it. Let's move on. I think the SEC will look into it, but I could be wrong. What the SEC would say about Gen Z, they are greedy. A lot of bad things could happen. He could hold off, he could drop this, and then, December 17th or January 20th. He's not even the SEC. He then does what Jay Clayton does and gives it to the next stupid CC official. They try to be the heroes at that point.